Whew, I can't believe that I actually made it through all of these, 7 videos? This is the last video before ARTFIGHT starts. There are currently 8 videos, or 8 days until ARTFIGHT, and for the last 6 Tuesdays, I have made a ARTFIGHT prep video, and this is the last one. I will overlay what I need to get done for this last, past week on the screen right now. And at the end of the video, you can see if I finished it all. So, since today is the last video, I'm going to be talking about why you should attack me, as well as just some other things that I forgot to mention or that have changed since my last videos. So, why should you attack me? First of all, I'm not going to pretend like a lot of people don't attack people so that they can get revenges back. That's just kind of the reality of ARTFIGHT. I don't usually do it because I don't really count on revenges because my art isn't that good, but I know that a lot of people probably do. Lucky for you, I am going to be revenging every attack within reason. If I get like 20 defenses and it's like a week, not even a week, if it's like 2 days until ARTFIGHT ends and I have like 30 defenses, okay, I might not be able to revenge all of them. I'll try my best, but that's not gonna happen anyway. So like, I'm pretty much just gonna revenge every attack. In fact, along with that, I have a revenge preference form. I've talked about this briefly in other videos, but I'm gonna go into depth right here. Whenever you attack me, I will have a link on my ARTFIGHT profile, and you will be able to click on it, and it'll take you to a Google form, and you can choose what kind of revenge you want to get from me. Now, there's a few options. You can first choose what style you want me to do, and it is between my normal one and my pixel one. There are a few things that require a certain style, but that's only a few things. So you can choose that. And then the next question is what kind of attack you want. And I know which ones will be the popular ones, but I'm just going to list out them all. First thing is going to be a headshot animation of your character blinking and making minor movements with their head. Maybe I'll add a hand waving in there. This is only for the pixel style because I really just don't feel like animating not in pixel style. If you want examples, they are I don't know when you're viewing this, but they're in the form itself, and also my profile picture is one, and then all of my character icons are one, or are examples of those. Though the ones that I make now will probably be a little bit better because I've improved over, making them. I also plan to try and do some larger animation attacks. I actually have it as an option for this specific one and another one that I'll do next. If you want to, if you are okay with me doing more than just a headshot animation, then you can select yes on that question, and then I'll know that I can do more if I want. I don't expect that anybody will select no, but you get the point. And then I might just do some full body animations. It really depends on what, happens. And then the next one is going to be comics. So I'll put up an example on the screen right now. I'm going to be doing these short comics that are pretty much just really simple, and I'm going to have them simply colored like the ones that I put up on screen. And yeah, the amount of effort I put into the coloring and the drawing probably will depend on how the attack that I'm revenging looks, to be honest. I know that that's kind of a selfish reason maybe to not put as much effort into attack, but I don't really think it is, to be honest. I don't really care. But yeah. so I'll be doing comics. And then for that one as well, you can choose, like, if I want to fully color it, if I want to, make it multiple pages, you can, like, choose if I go more in detailed. Same way with the animation one. Not choose if I go into more detail, I mean, like, I'll choose if it's okay with me to go into more detail. Next is character interaction, and this one's pretty self-explanatory. If you want your characters to react or interact with one of your own characters or somebody else's characters, I will do that. I'm going to try to keep it to just if when that person has two characters like that, would interact, which most people do. If they have like a friend that they want their character to interact with, then like I'll go and I'll find that too. Yeah. And so that would be that one. I don't know. It really depends. That will usually involve a scene, I think, of like, maybe the characters are at a picnic, maybe they're, I don't know, on a lake in a kayak or something similar. So that's that one. And then lore related, which is I'll go through and I'll read all the lore, and then I'll make something that is related to that character's lore. Pretty self-explanatory. And then I of course have an option for like regular attacks. Like if you don't want if you just want like a full body standing there, pretty much whatever I want to do, that's an option. And that's it for like what you can choose. And then on the form itself, I have like a first option, which of course what you want most, and then the second, and then a third. So that the people can choose, maybe if I don't have enough time to do their first option, I can do the second or the third. Another thing, like if they choose like lore related for their first option, and then their characters don't have any lore, like of course I would choose the second and third option. I don't know why they would do that, but like, it's very possible. I'm kind of, this is my first year doing this. I'm wondering if I'm gonna get any submissions that are just the same thing picked for 1, 2, and 3. It would be kind of counterintuitive because, like, if I see that, your options are the same 1, 2, and 3, but I don't want to do whatever you chose, then I'm just gonna pick whatever I want, and that'll probably be a regular attack. But I am wondering if I am going to get any. Maybe, I think I'm gonna do a post ARTFIGHT, like, breakdown video, and maybe if I get any of those, I'll mention it in that video. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm really hoping that everything functions well within the form and that everybody, isn't doing stupid things. The next question in the form is who the person attacked. It's a multiple choice question, and it does affect if I choose, like, what you want, because, like, obviously some things are going to take longer than other things. And if you attacked, like, my favorite guy, then I might be more inclined to give you what you want. I plan to hopefully get everybody's first option, but, that might just not be how that plays out. We're gonna have to wait and see. The next question is if the person wants to revenge chain. I always feel like I don't start revenge chains myself. But if other people want to start it, I don't mind, and I always feel like awkward, like whenever I want to, not really want to start a revenge chain, but like when I'm kind of hoping to, like I don't really care, but I think it'd be cool to have that sort of thing going on with somebody where we just draw art for each other. The next question is where they found me, as in where they found my account. I have a bunch of things like, Discord, target hunting, TikTok, various other things. And then, of course, I have a thing at the bottom that says, you might not get what you want. And yeah, after that is examples, which I've included in the thing. So yeah, I'm hoping that everything runs smoothly with that. I really hope that people actually go and fill it out. I think that would be fun. Yeah, I'm really excited for ARTFIGHT, and I hope that everything goes well with my revenge preference form. Another reason why you should attack me is because I need an attack to put up on my wall next to the one that I have up there right now. I'm gonna make a TikTok video similar to this where I'll actually show it. I can't on the YouTube video. But right now there is one of my attacks up there from last year on my wall, and I want another to go right beside it. And I want to kind of do that for every year, just pick out one from each year and put it up on my wall. So, if you want your attack on my wall, you should attack me. I also plan to print out, like, all of the other attacks and put them all, like, in a binder, so that I can just have them. But, my favorite, and I do have favorites, will go up on my wall. That's the thing about ARTFIGHT, like, it's like, you can't say that you have a favorite attack. Like, I feel like if you say, like, how do I say this? A lot of people take you saying that you have a favorite attack as you don't like all the other attacks, but that's just not true. Like, I like the attack that's on my wall right now because it's a character interaction attack of my two of my characters, and I really like it. The third reason, of course, is just because my characters are super awesome. I have 4 dragons and 4 humans, and people tend to like the dragons more because I try to give them, like, silly designs that look cute, for all the people that like to attack interesting designs, and then the humans are alongside them. They're also relatively simple to draw, I think. Like, I don't know, like, it's subjective, but I do think that they are. 4 human designs, and of course the dragons. I do think that they're pretty easy to draw. My final reason why you should attack me is because I might attack you again next year. Who knows? We'll just have to see. I do plan to attack some, old attackers whenever I get through all my bookmarks. And, of course, my mass attack. So, yeah. That might be you next year. That's it. I could say, like, other things, like, my profile looks cool, but it's not, like, decorated or anything. I just have my card, and all the text is in different colors. I doubt most people actually care about the characters, and that's why I'm not going into, like, depth on why my characters are awesome, because nobody cares about your OCs as much as you do. And of course that goes for me. But, yeah. So now, I guess it's time to talk about some other things that have been, on my mind since last video. Number 1 is the current ARTFIGHT profile card trend where you put all your characters in the featured character section in shadow so that it's just like the black silhouettes of them. I understand that they're just having fun. I understand that they're trying to make their cards on theme. But if I see that your profile card has only the silhouettes of your characters, I'm just going to ignore it. I feel the same about when people put, like, the comedy and tragedy masks on their characters. Because what's even the point of having featured characters if it's just their silhouettes? This is specifically if you're promoting yourself with your card, by the way. If it's just, like, it's on your profile and it's just for fun, like, that's fine, I don't care. This, like, ties into what I said earlier. Nobody cares about your OCs as much as you do. Most people aren't going to look at your OCs that are, silhouetted or they have masks on their faces and decide to go to your profile to see if you have OCs that they like. There are tens of thousands of people that are participating in ARTFIGHT, and there's so many people whose OCs are not silhouetted on their profile. There's no point in promoting yourself if nobody can see your characters. And that's how a lot of people find characters to attack. They look at the cards and they see the featured characters and they like how the featured characters look. I've had multiple people, whenever I presented my card, be like, "Oh my goodness, look at that little character right there." And that is true. I even had somebody zoom into it and take a picture and say, oh, look at this one. Those people aren't necessarily going to attack me, but I know that people are seeing my card and thinking, that my characters are cute. At least the dragons. I doubt that many people really care about the humans. If you want to promote yourself on, TikTok or whatever, my best advice to you is to make your OCs look as good as possible on that profile card. Because if people see your OCs looking, cute on the profile card, that's going to draw them into your account. And even if they don't like how the ref sheets look, they might, be influenced by how it looked on your card and want to attack you anyway. That's what happened to me. I mean, I pretty much got all of my people that I attacked last year from TikTok cards. There's also been multiple times where I see the silhouette of a character and I think, oh, that looks cool. And then I go to their account and the character just does not suit what I want to attack. But I thought I wanted to attack it because the silhouette looked cool. And that's pretty much why I've stopped looking up the, even if the character has a cool silhouette, I'm not gonna look it up. Half the time it doesn't even really fit the vibe of the characters, because they'll black it out and then over their eyes they'll put little, sparkles. And then when I, would go to their accounts looking for, I think I saw a rat once and it had two red sparkled eyes and I was like, ooh, is that a evil rat that I can attack? Rat OC. And I looked and it was this, and I'm not hating on anybody's character, but it's just not the type of character that I would want to attack. It was this rat, and it was inspired by Barbie or something, and it had a bob, and was wearing a dress, which, nothing wrong with that. I mean, I don't mind it, or anything, I'm not making fun of that character, but you gave your silhouette on the card these red, they're supposed to be intimidating eyes, and then it's a rat with a pink bob. And it's not about me not liking the character design or anything. The character design was fine, but if you want people to attack your characters, you kind of want to show as much of them as possible. Like I said earlier, you want to kind of show their personality between how they look and how they might be interacting with other characters. That's another thing. If you're making an ARTFIGHT profile card, I suggest having your characters popping out of the boxes and interacting with each other. I didn't really do it on this one because I didn't have time, but they are coming out of the box for mine personally. But that's pretty much it on that. Number 2, I don't remember his name specifically. I think it's Andrew Hussey. Whatever it is, the creator of Homestuck has joined ARTFIGHT. Or at least, if it's not him, it's somebody impersonating him. And I'm not in that fandom or anything. But I feel as if it's clear to anybody who, participates in ARTFIGHT. People are just going to upload their fan art to his characters because he's using the characters from Homestuck. I'm calling it now. He's probably going to have 18,000 attacks because people are just uploading their fan art that they've already made of the characters. I've also seen people, because he's on Team Comedy, I've seen people saying that because of him, Team Comedy is going to lose. But that's not really true. He's not going to garner that many points. Against him, that is. People aren't going to attack him enough to where Team Comedy loses. He might affect it by a few thousand points, but it's not going to make Team Comedy lose. Which, by the way, I'm not sure which team I think is going to win. It's either going to be Comedy or Tragedy. But it could be either of those. It really just depends on who puts out less friendly fire. I think that's what it came down to last year. Fossils put out more friendly fire than Crystals by 10,000 attacks. Not 10,000 attacks, it was I don't even remember, that was a long time ago, but by a few thousand. And then they ended up losing by 12,000 points. More than that, maybe 20,000, I don't know. What else is there to talk about? There's there's always something that, people talk about around ARTFIGHT, and it's putting out hundreds of attacks in 1 year. There's a few people that do this, and a lot of them are pretty well known within the ARTFIGHT community. I'm not gonna call anybody out by name. There's one that, like, uploads pixel attacks of, like, teeny pixel attacks of characters, but as long as they look like the character, I don't really see what's wrong with it. Like, it's labeled as simple shaped. It's only getting like 4 or 5 points per attack. And yeah, those add up over time, but like, is it really that big of a deal? And then on TikTok this year specifically, there's somebody who wants to put out 1,000 attacks. Now, I knew this person from last year. Well, not know them, but I heard about them last year, and I kind of followed along with how many attacks they made last year. And they make pretty good art very fast. And it's not because they're like cheating or anything, they just have a really quick process. They don't usually undo many lines. They posted a TikTok of them making what they would count as an attack if they were, in the game. And it took them like 2 minutes to make one fully colored attack. And there's nothing wrong with being quick at art. Like, putting out a bunch of attacks isn't necessarily point farming. I should probably mention my goals for this art fight, considering it's the last video before art fight. I've probably talked about these before, but my first goal is to finish my mass attack. It has 50 characters. It's Five Nights at Freddy's Ultimate Custom Night inspired, and I plan to have like a Google Doc maybe, where everybody could see like an upscaled image of their character and like what they would do in the game. But I'm not sure about that yet. It just depends. I might not do it. We will see. And then I want to get 50 attacks. Last year I did 100. It's kind of hard to tell how many I'm going to do this year. There were factors that were against me last year, and there's some that are against me. Oh my god, that's so loud. There's some that are against me this year that weren't last year. Last year, I couldn't just draw digitally normally. I had to do everything on paper, and then I had to upload it into IBIS Paint and redraw it digitally to get digital attacks. And I don't have to do that this year, which will cut down the time that it takes for each attack by quite a lot. But at the same time, last year I had a few more full days to work on attacks. This year, I literally leave for vacation June 30th. And I don't come back until like the 12th. And then right after that, I have a sport thing, and I won't be able to draw for like an entire 4 days. And then directly after that, I start band camp, and that takes up the rest of my July. We'll have to see how I manage. I'm not sure. I can't be sure until it's happening. I'm going to try to get as many attacks done as I can. It didn't stop me last year. I also went on vacation last year, and I also went to that sport thing last year, and I also had band camp last year. But I don't know. It really depends, and I'm not sure how many attacks I'm going to be able to make. It would be awesome if I could make 100 again. I like having the number 100 in my attacks. A lot of people, whenever they see my account, are like, "You have 100 attacks? How do you have 100 attacks?" And I'm just like, "Oh, no." So, yeah. I like having that number, and I'm going to keep that number. Obviously, I'm not going to, like, delete attacks or anything. But I want to heighten that number. It'll also be harder to get 50 attacks or 100 attacks because I'm doing my 50 character mass attack, as I just said. I'm going to try to get that done as quickly as possible. It shouldn't be too hard. They're all just going to be like bust shots and half bodies sometimes. But, yeah. So, that should be an interesting challenge. We will have to see how it goes, and I'll talk about it all in my, um, review video in probably August. And yeah, for more specific goals, I want to get like quite a few animation attacks. I'm not sure how many, like exactly. I want to get a few animation attacks, I want to get a few comic attacks, and then pretty much after that, it's just free for all. I want to get all of my bookmarks completed. And I have a goal for how many defenses I hope to get to, but I'm not going to share that because it'll be embarrassing if I don't get there. Last year, I had a goal of getting 20 defenses. I got 30. And that's just because of the volume of attacks that I made. It wasn't because of how good my art was. So I do have a goal. It's not much. It's not too different from last year's. It's not 20, but it's not too many more. But my art is better this year, so we'll have to see how it goes. And it might be considered selfish to have like a defense goal that I hope to get, but like at the same time I can do what I want, okay? Okay. It's time to see if I have accomplished everything from this past week that I needed to finish before ARTFIGHT starts. So yeah, I don't have anything to overlay. Not really. I could overlay me showing the lore that I wrote, but nobody really wants to see that. So I will just overlay the list of what I needed to do now. Okay, this is all we had left. I finished the lore writing. I finished the final cleanups. This is going to be the last YouTube video, and obviously I'm going to put it out considering, it's going to be made. This was the one this is the last one that I have. Did I get them all? I certainly did. I did. I knew that I was going to. I wasn't at all worried. You can see all the stuff that I had to do here. So, yeah. And it's all done. It feels so nice to have it all done. I don't have to worry about ARTFIGHT for the next 8 days. Oh my goodness. I think that we can check off the Be ARTFIGHT ready. How pleasant. I know that you couldn't see everything because I had to crop it, but here is a spoken list of everything I did. I did 8 attack animations, as in my characters attacking something to show off their magic. I made 8 playlists for each of my characters, one for each. I filled out 6 image slots for all. I have the thing where I can get 12 total. I made 8 reference sheets. I did all of my lore writing and my lore fixes, which was for every single character. I did general lore writing, which is just writing about the world. I organized all the profiles, which I had like a thing, and it's all like all the information is organized. You can go check it out if you want. I organized my profile, which again, you can go check it out. I sorted all my bookmarks. I have gotten rid of everybody that, didn't choose a team now. I made art for the mass attack posts, and it worked out because I have 50. I made art for the YouTube thumbnail, which is hard to, you probably haven't even seen it because the stupid videos don't want to format correctly. I don't know why. I put out all of the YouTube videos, which, as you're seeing this, obviously I've put them all out. I bookmarked all 50 OCs needed for the mass attack. I configured all the connections, which is a new feature in ARTFIGHT. I did my final cleanups, and now I am ARTFIGHT ready. And that's it. This journey has been really fun. I might do one next year. It really just depends. Hopefully I figure out how to format the videos by then. I tried everything. Like, I looked at multiple videos and none of them worked. But, whatever. Hopefully I figure out how to format the videos better next year. This is my first time making YouTube videos in a long while, and I've had a really fun time making them. And, yeah, go check out my profile. It is kinda_timid. And have a happy ARTFIGHT. Goodbye, everybody.